What's going on, y'all? This is Caleb coming to you with another YouTube video, and I want to start by apologizing to my subscribers and the people that watch my videos. I know I've been slacking on these videos, but hopefully a package. First of all, a package is coming in the mail tomorrow, and hopefully, I can get some more content for you, and hopefully some better content, make it look better and all that. Maybe not make it look better, but hopefully you can get some more content, for you guys to watch. And I want to try to put a schedule together so I can put a video, at least one video out every day. All right, now that's out of the way. Want to come to you with I forgot what I was about to say. The NBA playoffs are starting tomorrow. This is Friday evening. You'll probably see this by tomorrow, but the NBA playoffs are starting tomorrow, and I want to do a first round prediction video. Now I know what you're saying. Why don't you predict the whole finals and all that in one video? Nah, I think the more videos the more videos I drag out, the more content I have for you guys. I just feel the more I drag this along, the more videos that can come out of it, for you guys, and for my channel in general. But without further ado, we're gonna start this thing. I'm gonna start with the Western Conference first. I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go from 1 to 8 to 2 to 7 to 3 to 6 to 4 to 5. All right, first in the West, you have the number one seed, Golden State Warriors, 67-15, versus the Portland Trailblazers, 41-41 on the season, just beating out Denver for the 8th seed. Warriors won the regular season series against Portland 4-0. Their first two meetings were blowouts, but their last two meetings were pretty close, including their last game on January 29th in Portland, where the Warriors just edged out Portland by 2. Now, I think the key to this series is the health of the Trailblazers big man. I keep forgetting his name. The guy that they traded for from Denver, traded Miles Plumlee for Denver. I don't know. At first, I thought that was a bad move, but he's become really good for the Trailblazers. He's gotten injured, and hopefully he can come back. But I think that's going to be the X factor. How, if he's able to come back and how he's able to play. I mean, you got Lillard and McCollum, the dynamic backcourt. You got Crabbe. Crabbe's a good shooter. I think is Amino still on that team? He's a good player. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think is Amino still on that team or not. But other than that, Portland looks pretty good. Portland looks pretty good. And I seen where Portland radio show asked Damian Lillard, and Lillard said he's got them in 6. Man, that's tough. I mean, that's a tough pick. I mean, only those real diehard Portland Trailblazer fans are picking them to win in 6, bro. I mean, that's awfully a tough task to take down the Warriors, man. Curry, Durant, Thompson, Green. I mean, I always call them the Western Conference All Stars. Well, I guess there's the starting 5, excluding Zaza Pachulia. I think McGee starts for him now. I'm not sure. But anyway, my first round prediction for this, I don't like to say teams are going to get swept. I don't know. It's just I'm not. Yeah, I think that's just a disrespectful thing to say. That team's going to get swept. You're in the NBA. In any one game, you have a chance. So I'll say Warriors in 5. I'll say maybe Portland might get game 3 in Portland. Then obviously I believe the Warriors will win the first 2, and then get games 4 and 5 to finish the series back in Oaktown. Next up, we got the number 2 seed San Antonio Spurs, 61-21 on the season, versus the number 7 seed Memphis Grizzlies, 43 and 39 on the season. Now these two teams split the season series at 2 apiece, with the home team winning winning each game. Memphis 1-2 in Memphis, and then San Antonio 1-2 in San Antonio. Memphis started out really well. Remember, I think they were the first team to beat Golden State this year. I mean, that's a hell of a squad. I mean, you got Conley, who I still think is the most overpaid player ever. I mean, for him to be had the biggest contract in the NBA right now, that's stupid. That is stupid. I mean, but he is a good floor general point guard. He can run the game. I give him that. Then obviously you got Marc Gasol in the paint, one of the best, maybe the best passing big man in the game. Also can get it done at the rim. Zach Randolph, how is he gonna react? How is he gonna perform? That's gonna be big for them, like it's always been for Memphis in the last few years. How it is how he plays, and then how the supporting cast plays as well. And you got Tony Allen, Mr. First Team All Defense. So, hey, I think this could be a pretty competitive series. I mean, no lie. I mean, obviously Kawhi Leonard's had I'm not gonna say breakout. He's had a great season, MVP caliber season for the Spurs. And then you have Patty Mills, who's stepping up for San Antonio as well. And you got Aldridge, who overcame the hard thing. He's come back. He's looking like himself. I don't know. I think this will be a 6-game series, maybe even 7. But I'll say Spurs in 6. I mean, like I said, the team element and Greg Popovich, that's just too much. I think that's going to be too much for the Grizzlies, man. Yeah, Spurs in 6. Next up, we have probably the most must-see, entertaining first-round matchup in these playoffs. I mean, this might be the most anticipated first-round matchup in the NBA playoffs in a long time, man. The number 3 seed Houston, I don't know why I was about to say Cleveland. Houston Rockets versus the number 6 seed Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, obviously, you know why everyone's looking forward to this matchup. This will pit the top 2 guys. The 2 guys that have been in the MVP comp. Well, let me slow down. Well, at least the 2 guys that have been on top of the MVP conversation since the All-Star break. You got James Harden versus Russell Westbrook. Of course, we know the year that Westbrook had, breaking breaking the single-season triple-double record set by Oscar Robertson back in 1961 with 41 triple-doubles. Westbrook broke it this year with 42. Westbrook averaged a triple-double, the first man since Oscar Robertson to do it. And all while leading the league in scoring with, I think it was over 30 points a game. But Harden's the second leading scorer in the league, so Harden's game. Harden's game is to score the basketball at will. Rockets won the season series 3-1 over Oklahoma City. Of course, Oklahoma City won the first matchup this year on November 16th with that electrifying dunk that he had over, who was that? I don't remember, but that dunk was special. But then I was about to say Golden State, but then Houston took the last 3, all pretty competitive games, all pretty competitive games though. Like I said, 3 out of the 4 meetings were decided by 3 points or less, and then Houston won the last meeting by 12. It's always those 3-6 matchups that really, that's really a toss-up, along with the 4-5. But, it's always those 3-6 matchups where, but just like the 12 versus 7 seed in the NCAA tournament. Sometimes you might pick the 6 to beat the 3, It's as far as different scenarios is going on or whatever. I mean, obviously, the marquee matchup is Harden versus Westbrook, but you gotta look at the supporting cast for each team. You know, looking at Houston, you got Eric Gordon, Trevor Ariza, Clint Capella. He's been real nice. I mean, I looked at him last year when he was coming in for Howard off the bench. He gives you that energy, those offensive rebounds that are so crucial, you know, in a close game. And then Houston picked up Lou Williams. That's man, that was one of the biggest. I think that might have been the biggest pickup at the trade deadline. Bring you that scoring off the bench, man. That's another thing. Bench scoring is which is so crucial in a playoff series. And you look at Oklahoma City, man. For the majority part of the year, they really struggled. You know, Cantor got injured. Adams, you know, he's the big guy in the middle. You know, so he's really not dependent on the score that much. He gets you the rebounds, plays good defense, but Russell Westbrook just needs that other guy to step up. And Oladipo hasn't been that guy. Then they picked up Doug McDermott and Taj Gibson from the Bulls in the trade that sent Russell's homeboy Cameron Payne to the Bulls. They was actually showing that Mountain Dew commercial with Westbrook and Payne, and they quickly had to basically had to fucking edit Payne out of the commercial. But anyway, I actually see. I mean, obviously the X factor is going to have to be the other Thunder players. Can they give Russ the same support as Houston, as I figure Houston will give James Harden? Can those other guys step up, you know, and bring points from, you know, can you get points from Oladipo? Can you get points from Cantor? Can you get points from McDermott off the bench? You know, you got defense from Robinson. You got the big man play with Adams. You know, Westbrook just got to have those other two scorers that can keep up with Eric Gordon and keep up with Trevor Ariza. I mean, especially from three. The Houston's been lights out from three this year. Obviously, there's that. Obviously Mike D'Antoni, that 7 seconds or less offense. You know, that he made famous in Phoenix, helped Steve Nash win his 2 MVPs. I mean, at the end of the day, I just think Houston will be too much in the end. I'm trying to think. I mean, Russ can will he can will Oklahoma City to a couple wins, especially at home with that crowd. I don't know. I think Russ can will 2 games, and you know he might be dropping triple doubles. You know, I just think if Oklahoma City's other guys can step up and help Russ out more than what they already do, you know, like I said with the triple doubles and all that. If they can find that second consistent score or and that third consistent score, I believe in my heart, I believe that it could be a 7-game series. But my mind says a 7-game series. My heart says a 6-game series with Houston taking it all. All right, moving on. We have the 4-5 matchup in the West. The Los Angeles Clippers 51-31 versus the Utah Jazz 51-31. Now, obviously, the Clippers got the 4 seed over Utah because they won the season series 3-1 over the Jazz. I mean, I don't know what the heck is going on with the Clippers. I mean, we had this story every year. You think the Clippers can be a major contender in the West, and then somehow they fall apart. I'm just saying you can't. I just can't put stock into the Clippers team, you know, because I know sooner or later they're gonna let me down. You got Paul, you got Griffin, you got Jordan. I mean, they have always missed that guy from the small forward position. I forgot to mention they got Crawford off the bench, but they've always missed that guy, the small forward, that 3 guy. I think they really missed out they really missed a big opportunity at trying to get Carmelo Anthony from the Knicks. I mean, obviously, if the Clippers would have got Carmelo Anthony, they would have been a legitimate Western Conference contender against Golden State. But I do believe in Doc Rivers to get this Clipper team to the second round. I mean, I like Utah, Hayward, Gobert. That's a pretty young squad, man. I just don't think that this year is their year. But they had an incredible season. I'm just saying they're no slouches. Jazz are no slouches, man. Matter of fact, I see this game. I see this as I haven't done the East yet, so I see this as the Western Conference's only 7 game series in 7 game series in the first round. I think every team will win at home. I think every team will win at home. Now, the Clippers did go into Utah and win on February 13th, but I just feel that every home team will will get a victory. Like I said, you never know with the Clippers, man. So I mean, I just don't know. I just don't trust them to be able to close it out. Be able to close it out unless they're at home. Unless they're at home with Clipper Nation behind them. But yeah, man, I think it's going to be a 7 game series, and I got the Clippers winning Game 7 at home to advance to the second round. Well, that does it for the Western Conference. Now we're going to move to the Eastern Conference now. First off is the 1-8 matchup in the East. The number 1 seed Boston Celtics versus the number 8 seed Chicago Bulls. Boston 53-29 on the year. Chicago 41-41. Now the season series was tied 2-2. Again, all home teams winning those games. The first 3 games were pretty close until the last game on March 12th, where Boston beat Chicago by 20. But I do believe that was one of the games where Dwayne Wade was out. Still had problems with his elbow, but now, yeah, I think that was when he was out. But yeah, when Wade is back, they thought he was going to be gone before the end of for the rest of the season, but now Wade is back, and I think that's real huge for Chicago here. I think that's real huge for Chicago, man. You got the veteran guy, 3-time champion, knows how to win in big situations. Helping that young group with also you have Rondo, one-time champion, also helping out. They had the they had a debacle earlier in the season, and I'm pretty sure they've gotten past that. They've become a lot closer, and look out for this series. I normally don't question the number 1 seed, but I mean, you got Boston has Isaiah Thomas. I mean, but after that, I mean, Marcus Smart. I mean, he seems too inconsistent to me. Got Jay Crowder. He can shoot the 3. What are you going to get out of Horford? That's going to be the X factor of this series. I mean, just like what I said about Oklahoma City with Westbrook. What are you going to get from those other Boston guys? What are you going to get from those other Boston guys? I mean, you've seen it in the past. Whatever bad health that he's in, Wade's going to bring it. And then Jimmy Butler's going to be out to prove people wrong that he can lead a franchise. He can be a leader. He can lead a team deep into the playoffs. So he's going to be ready to go too. I mean, just look at both teams. I mean, I can't believe I'm about to say this, man. Looking at both teams, and you got to have that one upset pick. I think this is it for me. I think the Chicago Bulls win in 6. I mean, it's hard. I mean, I can't believe those words just came out of my mouth, but I just think Chicago has more firepower. and more consistent firepower. I mean, defensively against Boston, all you have to do is take IT out of the game. Well, you can't take IT out of the game, but you got to force other guys to beat you. Like, he'll probably be facing double teams. Everybody's gonna be looking at him. The other guys for Boston's guy have got to step up. I'm just saying they're the number one seed. They beat Cleveland out for the number one seed, but that's the regular season. When you have a 7 game series where a coach can game plan for you on a nightly basis, that that's a difference maker. And I know Fred Hoiberg's young. Fred Hoiberg is young in the NBA as what I'm speaking, but I think he can. I think the Bulls can get the 8-1 upset again in 6 games, where they win Game 6 in Chicago. Next up, we have the 2-7 matchup, number 2 seed Cleveland Cavaliers versus the number 7 seed Indiana Pacers. Now we all know, the last few weeks, since March, it's really been very bad for Cleveland. Obviously, they're facing a lot of questions going into this postseason. By how they performed, especially in March. So I think it was a 7-10 record in March. LeBron's first losing a month since his rookie season. I mean, but it's the playoffs, man. I mean that's the thing with the Cavaliers, man. They're ready for the playoffs. Like LeBron said, he's not thinking too much of regular season games. I forgot to say Cleveland won the season series 3-1 over Indiana. I mean, a lot of these games were high scoring, man. I mean, you got in the February 8th matchup, Cleveland won in Indiana 132-117. And then in February 15th, Cleveland won 113-104 first over Indiana in Cleveland. Then the April 2nd matchup in Cleveland won 135-130. And that was a big issue with the Cavs coming down the stretch, was their defense, which any LeBron team has really put defense as their top priority. But like I said, now a lot of that had to do with fatigue and just wanting to forget about the regular season and go straight to the playoffs. I'm not making excuses. They were bad. Did they concede the number 1 seed? A lot of people say they did. I mean, LeBron's been a 2 seed 5 times, and all 5 times before he's made it to the NBA Finals. Now he's only won once. He's only won the championship once coming out of the 2 seed. That was 2012 when they beat Oklahoma City with KD, Durant, and KD, Harden, and Westbrook on the same team. But yeah, man, Indiana's tough. I mean, Miles Turner, he's pretty good, and Pacers getting back Lance Stevenson, man. I wonder if we're gonna get any blow in the ear moments. And of course, you got PG-13. He's gonna get his. I mean, it was a lot being speculated if he was going to be traded. If he was going to be on another team this year. I think he's going to ball out in this series. He's going to have a hell of a series. I think he's going to probably average 28 points a game. I mean, I don't know what else after that, but he's going to score the ball. And it's that marquee matchup with LeBron versus George. Hopefully, we see them guard each other a lot in this series. A lot of times, some teams don't want to have their top 2 players, don't want to have their best player guard the other best player a lot. Kind of tires them out offensively. They're not as good They're not to be dependent on offensively. When they're wasting all that energy. Well, not wasting, but when they're exerting all that energy. That's a better word. Guarding the best player on the other team. I'm sorry, I'm tripping out. But I do think Cavaliers will win in 6 over the Pacers. They'll win Game 6 in Indiana. But yeah, expect Indiana to make it tough. I don't think LeBron's going to sweep Indiana. They're too good. I mean, like I said, George and Turner, and seeing what Stevenson will bring. Hopefully, not blown in the ear or scoring a layup after a 15-point lead. But yeah, man, Cavs in six. Next up, we got the 3-6 matchup. From 3 seed, the Toronto Raptors, 51-31 on the year, versus the number 6 seed Milwaukee Bucks, 42-40 on the year. Obviously, this is a matchup that really favors Toronto. But I mean, the young Bucks in Milwaukee, man, they can't be ignored. Uh, Malcolm Brogdon's really surprised me. I mean, Brogdon was on Virginia, last year. I watched him through his college career. He wasn't that much. He wasn't that good. He wasn't that much of a scorer. He was that defensive guy. He's that guy that guard the best player on the floor for the other team. Really didn't do that much scoring, but he surprised me, man. His offensive game has been on point. It's been A1 this year. I mean, he's one of my surprising rookies this season. And of course, Greek Freak, man. I mean, this dude is going places, man. I think Antetokounmpo is a future MVP in this league. If not next year, at least a couple years down the road. Expect Antetokounmpo to be named MVP at some point in the next 5 years. Dude's game is awesome. Jason Kidd's done a phenomenal job with that group, man. You know, another winning season. And they're going to give Toronto a lot of problems. But I see Kyle Lowry. I see DeMar DeRozan. I see Serge Ibaka on the other end. And I see the Raptors winning it. I'll say Milwaukee can get a couple. I think this is going to be another 6-game series in which Toronto will move on to the second round. All right, last but not least is the 4-5 matchup in the East. The number 4 seed Washington Wizards, 49-33 on the year, versus the Atlanta Hawks, 43-39 on the year. Now, of course, if you've been following basketball the last few weeks, the Hawks have gave Cleveland fits. I mean, beating them down at home, and then that crazy game where they came back from 20, I think it was 26 down in the 20, it was a 20, I don't know if it was 26, but it was a big lead in the fourth quarter. Atlanta came back, forced overtime, and then won the game. That was crazy, man. I hated it. I'm a LeBron fan. I hated that, you got a 26-point lead in the fourth quarter. You got to be able to finish that. I don't care how bad your defense is. You got to be able to hold that lead, especially in 12 minutes too. But that's an eternity, though. A lot of people are high on this Washington Wizards team. John Wall. I think this is his best season yet. I think this is John Wall's best season yet. Of course, you got Beal in the backcourt, then Gortat in the paint. You got those other guys around them. Otto Porter's coming on. Ooh. I mean, a lot of people feel that this could be a team that could challenge Cleveland in the Eastern Conference playoffs. So, and with their road, I don't be surprised if you see the Wizards in the Eastern Conference Finals. But we can't discredit Atlanta. Paul Millsap balling. Dennis Schroeder. I mean, dude's been the sixth man the last couple years. Yeah, then you have T go off to Indiana, and then Schroeder steps into that starter's role or steps in or he gets more minutes. He's been tearing it up, man. I mean, so this is gonna be a tough series. It's gonna be a real tough series. Wizards won the season series over the Hawks 3-1. A couple close ones, a couple blowouts. Atlanta did win the first meeting in Atlanta on October 27th. I mean, both of these teams are really peaking at the right time. And I'm thinking I know I said the Clippers and the Utah will be a 7 game series in the West. I'm thinking the Wizards and the Hawks could be a 7 game series in the East. Again, I think both. I think the home team will win all games. So I got the Wizards at home in Game 7, uh, beating Atlanta. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a real tough series. I think the matchups, it's pretty even across the board. Uh, this would be a pretty entertaining series, man. So I'm gonna run it down for you one more time. In my first round selections, I have the Warriors in 5, the Spurs in 6, the Rockets in 6, and the Clippers in 7 in the Western Conference. And then I have my upset in the East. I'm sorry, I have my upset special Chicago in 6. I have Cleveland beating Indiana in 6, Toronto beating Milwaukee in 6, and then I have Washington beating Atlanta in 7. Those were my NBA first round predictions. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please give it a like, subscribe, and share. I appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate you guys so much for watching, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video.